when you're thinking about what goes into making financial equilibrium, it's important to realize that the balancing the budget is one part of the picture. That financial equilibrium, you've got to be balancing not only the revenue and expense and all that side of the equation, but you've got to be making sure that you are continuing to invest sufficiently into the human capital of our institutions, whether that's faculty development, whether that's levels of compensation, but we've got to be ensuring that that's sufficiently robust. We must, for residential colleges, continue to invest in the physical plant to ensure that that retains its perception in the marketplace of its value, that we're able to, that it is supporting the quality of education that we are espousing to offer. And then the sort of fourth piece of the financial equilibrium is retaining the endowment purchasing power over time. I mean, there's no point doing the first three if you're drawing from the endowment at an unsustainable level, because 10 years from now, that revenue is then going to dissipate and you're going to then impact everything else. So it's keeping each of these, one's attention to them and keeping them in balance. And that's the sort of big challenge, if you will, as we look at the big picture in terms of where this fits into it. So the question I wanted to pose to the group, and I just want to have just a couple of minutes, we want to wrap up around about 3-ish and take our break, but the question I want to ask you, and this is not so much a question sort of based on what you know, what do you think the most important financial challenges of your institution, but speculate, if you will, if you imagine just a group of faculty colleagues at your institution, what do you think they are likely to identify as the major financial issue that your institution faces? And there's not necessarily a right or wrong answer here. I've got a list of possible answers on the handout, and I'll put it up on the screen here. But what I'd like to do is just take 2 or 3 minutes if you want to discuss on the table, and then we'll just kind of go around and get a quick take of the temperature of the room, or what are the sorts of issues you think among the faculty are seen as the most pressing financial issues on your campus right now, and be interesting to see whether there's commonality across institutions or differences between and among them. So